And on to the next replay. I am fighting, I think it was a Chinese player. His name, I put it in the translator, is Change Monster, in brackets, mentally collapsed. I don't even want to know why people choose that as a name, but I wish this person all good for their mental well-being. I hope that our match contributed to it. And I think if you guys are watching this, you should strap in for a bit of a longer match, because this one wasn't over in the single-digit rounds, I think. Might be mistaken, though. Gonna keep it interesting anyway. Oops, that was a very quick setup turn. So, what do we have on the board? My opponent is starting with the elite marksman and chaff and tanks, and really I don't think there is much that can beat a board like that in the early rounds. Even if I had like aerial specialist advantage and dropped some wasps, the free marksman would just plink them down in a matter of a few seconds. So this first turn is going to be a pretty big win for my opponent, but I don't really see much that I could change in my unit composition here to face this unit composition and win the fight. Round number 2. Reinforcements already. Phoenixes might be good, Scorpions might be good, even Stormcallers I think are reasonable. I don't want the Wraith here. But my opponent is looking at my board and I have nothing but ground attackers and not a lot of chaff, and I have tanks, so I think for my opponent literally any unit is fine, though I would say the Scorpions, the Phoenix is less so, because he already has marksmen. He decides to go for the Stormcallers and starts dropping some additional marksmen, it seems. What am I playing anyway? Oh, I'm playing as heavy armor specialist. Well, that doesn't do much into this board here right now. The Stormcallers get dropped on the side apparently. Nope, they get dropped in the middle. He repositioned them. And what do? I upgrade to level 1 defense. He also saves 150 bucks. Okay. But he did not mass recruit for another unit of chaff, so he could have done that in theory. Right now he is also with 3 units of chaff, not the best. I invest into some more chaff. I have a Scorpion, and yeah. I think the Stormcallers are not the worst thing that dropped here. I'm definitely liking the chaff advantage in the middle. I need chaff to survive here, otherwise the marksmen are just going to destroy everything I have in a matter of seconds. That was a really beautiful shot, and he almost immediately levels to about a third of his next level. The tanks push in. Next marksman goes down. Unfortunately, he locks onto the other marksman here. This side has been cleaned up because A, there was no Scorpion here, and B, there were the Stormcallers that apparently are now here. Did he buy some additional Stormcallers on that side? I'm not sure. Ah no, he must have repositioned them again. Shield drop, worth a thought. Strike specialist as well, but yeah, shield just looked better to me, at least. I know that my opponent has a Stormcaller, at least I think I know, and even that marksman is doing very good amounts of damage. I immediately level a Scorpion and put a shield over it, because that is right now my carry unit. I'm also dropping another Scorpion and another unit of chaff. Right now, chaff is just key. Also, can I get to... yeah, I can get to 1.0 speed. And then I'm basically done for this turn. My opponent, what does he do? He ranges the marksman, okay. And he drops a shield on, I guess, kinda his carry unit. Not sure if this is top damage in the last turn. Probably not, if I had to guess. That thing probably did a lot more damage shooting at the Scorpion and the tanks. Anyway, the next stage of the fight. More chaff on my opponent's side isn't making my work all that much easier. However, I'm starting to get in here a bit on the Stormcallers, because it's just... there's not that much clearing chaff on my opponent's side. The tanks are kind of the worst. So the chaff is just delaying him by quite a bit. Now my Scorpion is moving in and starts working on the shield, but I don't think it's gonna get it. And this lone Scorpion is not going to last under the fire of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and in theory 7 marksmen. And fortunately the only marksman that goes down is the leveled one, so that's a good amount of XP on my part. Next up, Orbital Bombardment, definitely worth a thought. My opponent skips it, I take it. And I'm of course putting it on the side where there is no shield currently. He might not shield, he might shield. It should hopefully inflict at least a bit of damage. Now I'm thinking, what can I do here to win these fights? My opponent decides to play Vulcans, and I'm still not sure if I should call them Vulcan or Vulcan. I kind of want to say one, like it switches. Not sure what the condition to switch is, but sometimes I say Vulcan, sometimes I say Vulcan. I think people who also cast Mechabellum usually call it the Vulcan, but I honestly think that Vulcan sounds better. I think one might be American and one might be British English. I'm not sure, I'm German. We say Vulkan, so maybe it should be Vulcan for me as well. But I kind of don't really like that all that much. Anyway, he did not shield, in fact, so now my orbital strike is going to strike a lot of stuff. A lot of chaff has gone down. A marksman here, I think, has also gone down. Second marksman here has gone down. Did the leveled marksman go down as well? I'm not entirely sure. Anyway, my forces are now actually pushing in. The Vulcan is doing a lot, but the Scorpion and the Stormcallers do eventually kill it. However, not before all of my chaff is gone. So it did do its job. That said, there's not enough in my opponent's firepower left to protect his shield or his marksman. I think this time around I just have too much. I also have Stormcallers firing on all of these low health targets, and that Scorpion is having a grand old time shooting leveled units, so it goes to level 3. And while my shield stays alive, his shield has gone down and he takes a bit of damage. That's it. He's going for Marksman and a Vulcan. And now I'm unsure how to fight that properly. I do know how to fight Vulcan Phoenix. In case you are struggling with that, the answer, as far as I know, is simply drop some fortresses. Because with anti-air missiles they can get rid of the Phoenixes, and at the same time the Vulcans can't do much to them. Does he have Incendiary? Incendiary Bomb, yes, but he does not have the fire damage over time based on max health. Not sure what that is called. He sells the Stormcaller. I think it's not that bad of a move, because as long as the crawlers are here they can't do much, but maybe it's just wasted, because once the chaff is out of the way the Stormcaller should be doing amazing into my army. I drop some more Stormcallers here. I have really found Stormcallers to be a lot of fun, because people play War Factory a lot less, and that means that Stormcallers, in my opinion, are just a lot better now than they were like a month ago. And if people start playing War Factories more often, then I think Stormcallers are going to be a lot worse in that respect. Anyhow, my opponent definitely going for a lot of marksmen and some Vulcans. He even has the best partner tech here. That said, I don't entirely dislike my position right now. I have a decent amount of chaff clear. I have some artillery firepower that can deal even with his marksmen. My chaff, at least on this side, is moving in for the moment, but it's not going to last. I do, however, have some more chaff here. I also have an for this stage, extremely high-powered Scorpion. It's a level 3 with an amp core. It almost one-shots this Vulcan, which also has an amp core. That is insane. It can tank a lot, but it can't tank everything. If I had the heal on it, I guess my opponent has EMP on the sledges, not on the marksman. Turns out that it is not enough, and under the tower debuff, of course, my Stormcallers don't stand much of a chance. They just get destroyed. I don't even get the tower, unfortunately. That said, I consider these Stormcallers right now as part of building the board. There's melting points available, also high-level Rhino, Hackers in theory as well. But my opponent has a decent amount of chaff. He didn't start with a lot or build a lot in one turn, maybe. But he is going for something that is like he got his deployments out of the way. He also invests into hackers. I don't remember what I took, but apparently I sold it. Probably was the Rhino, if I had to guess. Now, since I think that Marksman and or Vulcan Marksman is similar to Vulcan Phoenix, I'm dropping the fortresses because I'm not yet sure how to counter it better. But I'm relying on the fortresses because I like them, and I can also shield here. I was expecting that he might be dropping some oil on me. Definitely a viable strategy, I would say. My opponent is going for the hackers, as you can see. He's also putting shield on the hacker, and he also puts his shield in the middle. So I guess our formations look kinda similar, even though the unit compositions are very much so different. The fortresses should be doing a very good job tanking, and everything behind should hopefully be doing a very good job damaging. I don't have the best chaff clear, I know that. But I have enough chaff clear to get by because my opponent doesn't have absurd amounts of chaff. Shields on the hackers have gone down. They have kind of started working on some of the sledgehammers. However, the fortresses are still holding strong and they take a long time to hack. On the right side and on the left side, the hackers fall. And I'm pushing in. I still, however, have that insane battle line of marksmen, which are going to cause me a lot of problems because it's a lot of marksmen. Finally, my Stormcrawlers are free to shoot at these distant targets, but with a range upgrade, the marksmen are just so much better against Stormcrawlers without range. It is not even funny. In the end, my opponent has the edge in this specific fight. Second amp core comes out, also intensive training or junior manufacturing. Mass-produced wasps, I don't think they are going to do all that much unless I delay them, and even then he can get easy counters for that. He picks the intensive training, I pick the second amp core and put it on one of the fortresses. Should be the fortress, the fortress that got more XP over the course of this. And I drop more fortresses.